Hello again. In this video, I have another program flip for you. This time it is for Paul McCartney on his one-on-one tour of Australia in 2017. This was my first time seeing Paul McCartney. I never thought I'd ever see him live. I did have tickets to go see him live in 2002. But he cancelled the tour. And I just never thought I'd ever see him live. And when he announced the tour, I made sure I was going to go see him because if you're not aware, the Beatles are my favourite band. This wasn't my first time seeing a Beatle though. I saw Ringo in 2014, which was a lot of fun. Now, at the show, I obviously bought the tour program, which, if you can see here, is quite thick. Probably one of the best tour programs I've ever seen. It's very detailed, and we'll get into it, as you'll see. Now, on the cover here, as you can see, is Paul McCartney doing what he does best, singing. And over here, there he is playing a Gibson Les Paul. Now, here is greetings from the man himself. There's a code there for more Paul detail. Now, over here, there's Paul again, rocking the piano. There'll be lots of pictures of Paul playing different instruments because, he just goes from different instrument to different instrument. Now, here's all the tour dates from 2016 on to 2017. Some of you may have been to some of these shows. Now, over here, that's the show that I was at, right there. Melbourne, Australia, Amy Park. He did actually add a second show, which I would have loved to have gone to, but I don't think it was financially feasible at the time. By all means, if he comes back, I'll definitely see him again. No questions asked. Fingers crossed that he does. Now, here is a interview with the man himself. I remember after the show, I'll just go by all this, and I don't know, if you really want to read it, you can just pause the video. It's quite an extensive interview. I remember reading this on the way home from the show, and it was a good way, to pass the time. There's Paul there, probably writing a set list, I'd imagine. There's a quote there. Some explosions happening on stage, quite possibly Live and Let Die. There's some more interview. Like I'm saying, this is such a cool tour program. It's not just photos, it's, a whole lot of stuff. Interview, and it touches on a few other things that were happening at the time, which we will get to. We'll just breeze past some of this stuff. I know some of you may probably want to know what's in there, but it's quite a lot to cover. But it's Paul with the piano. Can't recommend enough. If Paul McCartney comes to your town, check him out. Paul on the piano again, most likely again Live and Let Die with all the pyro. Pure McCartney. That's a compilation album that was released around that time. Now I've got the A to Z, or A to Z, of Paul McCartney. Candlestick Park, where the Beatles played their last concert, as a touring band, not including the rooftop. There's the set list up the top there. Some of this stuff, like a little cool, just a cool little insight into the man, just having a nice little A to Z section. Some songs, some projects that he's worked on, such as Fireman and the Family Way soundtrack, which you can see right there. Hofner, after that bass guitar there. Instagram, In Spite of All the Danger, which is one of the first songs he recorded by the Quarrymen, as it says. Jet, there's a Kaiser Color, promo poster, which the Beatles played in Germany. And Rory Storm and the Hurricanes was the band Ringo played in before he joined the Beatles. Kanye, Paul and Kanye collaborated as his son James, and I was going to say Paul with a Mike Nesmith-esque looking beanie. Over the page we go. So there's the handwritten lyrics to Mull of Kintyre, which is one of Paul's most successful solo songs. And there's the Magic Piano, which he plays Magical Mystery Tour on, and even plays what's the other one? Lady Madonna. Ramon. He would use the name Paul Ramon as a pseudonym to check in to hotels. And I believe that's where the band The Ramones got their name from. Heaps of stuff, yeah. There's just so many things affiliated with Paul. Vegetarianism, of course. Ukulele, Unplugged, White House, Yellow Submarine, Yesterday. Xylophone, Zenith, which is that guitar over there. It's kind of cool to, for one guy to have so many things associated with him. It's definitely something to look up to and aspire to. And here's of course his backing band. So we've got Rusty Anderson up there. We've got Paul Wickens, Paul, of course. We've got Abe on the drums, and we've got Brian Ray. Brian Ray plays guitar and bass, depending on what Paul is playing. Abe's the drummer. Paul Wickens is predominantly keyboards, piano. I think he may even play a little bit of guitar. And Rusty Anderson is also guitarist as well. And Paul does a little of everything. Obviously, a little bit of background on the band. I believe all these people have played with Paul for quite a long time. I used to watch a lot of Paul McCartney solo DVDs, and he's had this band for quite a long time, which is very cool. Good to know that, I'd assume that working for Paul McCartney is not only a good pay, but probably a good experience. So just going down the list there. Sorry, it's a little bit bright there. Um, there's Abe, the drummer, playing a bass. Not sure what song that would be on. I don't recall him playing any guitar when I saw him. Maybe depending on the set. Now this is where we'll just finish off the little section of the backing band. So even the backing band gets a little section. It's not all about Paul. I mean, it's mostly about Paul, but everyone gets a little bit of time in the booklet. Now over here we've got a little set of stickers, which I'm just gonna keep. But this is kind of like a little bit of a, I don't know, I guess a section for the kids. You got stickers here, and then you've got a color in section, and I'll just flip it over here just so we can get the more stickers. So cool. I love all this stuff. If I was a famous musician and was gonna do a booklet, I'd want it to be sort of like this. So I've got more coloring in. I just haven't got the heart to do it. I want to sort of just leave it as is. Look in this many years from now and remember. More coloring in. And then we've got the Liverpool Institute of Performing Arts, which Paul is heavily involved in. So there's so much stuff to read. It's almost like just a book on its own, just to read, which I think is amazing. Being for the benefit of Mr. Skype. So there's a little bit of a background there on that. And then if we go over the page here, you can 3D print your own Paul. Which, there is a link down here. There you go. Which is pretty cool. Paul in the studio. A little bit about pure McCartney, which is, as I said, it was a compilation CD that was released, a compilation album that was released around the time. It's a little bit about emojis and technology and stuff, which, Paul seems to really be into. He seems to, if you follow him on Instagram and stuff, he's posting, filters and things like that. And there's just the man in the studio there, was rocking the xylophone, rocking the guitar, doing a bit of singing. He does it all. And then there's a little bit of detail here about the reissue of Flowers in the Dirt. So the Paul McCartney Archive Collection, he's slowly but surely going through his solo discography and releasing each album. So at this point in time, Flowers in the Dirt was getting a reissue. And then we go over here, we've got Band on the Run, we've got McCartney and McCartney 2, which have all had, as you can see here, all got extras. All very interesting. If you love Paul McCartney and you want bonus content, he definitely gives it to you. Venus and Mars, Ram, Wings Over America, Wings at the Speed of Sound. All these albums have had extras. Tug of War, Pipes of Peace, and Flowers in the Dirt. Of course, Flowers in the Dirt, he co-wrote songs with Elvis Costello, which is really cool. At the time, Elvis Costello was, and still is, he's obviously a well-known songwriter and musician, but to collaborate with Paul McCartney was obviously a really cool thing at the time, because I think Elvis Costello was probably at his peak of mainstream success. That's Flowers in the Dirt advertisement. And over the page here we got Paul and Linda and his backing band during that time. And just a little bit of background, I guess, of this would have been in the late 80s. So, where Paul was at that time. Because I think I think Flowers in the Dirt is considered a bit of a triumphant album for someone who had been in the biz for almost 30 years. A little bit more detail of Flowers on the Dirt. Truly, Flowers in the Dirt is a classic McCartney album, which, yeah, I'd agree with that. There's a picture of Paul from that era, holding an acoustic guitar, and then just details of the Flowers in the Dirt reissue. I remember, it's been a while since I've listened to it, but the original acoustic demo as recorded with Elvis Costello was quite interesting. Definitely worth listening to if you're a music fan. And there's some of the bonus features. Now over here, we touch on something else that's close to Paul's heart, which is Meat Free Monday. Obviously, Paul's a vegetarian, and he doesn't. He obviously promotes that, but he definitely, I guess, rather than sort of trying to make everyone be vegetarian, he sort of pushes for people to go meat free on Mondays, which is cool. I think it's nice that he doesn't, push it too much, but pushes it enough that he's bringing awareness. So, just a little bit of information here, all this sort of stuff. Obviously, Linda McCartney, his first wife, was a vegetarian and has her own range of vegetarian meals and stuff like that. And it looks like Paul and also his daughters are, continuing on her legacy. Now, over the page here, we've got some Beatles content, as this would have been the 50th anniversary of Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. And I believe also there's an interview about Sgt. Pepper here, as you can see. And also, it's the same year, we would have got the deluxe edition for Pepper. So there was a lot going on in the Paul McCartney world at this point. So there's a little bit of an interview here. Like I said, you definitely get bang for your buck with this tour program. And there's Paul's suit from the Pepper cover. Very cool. There's Sgt. Pepper and the Beatles. I think all that stuff was included in the album. You get the little mustache and and the cutouts there. There's some handwritten lyrics for When I'm 64, which actually predates the Beatles, I believe. I think that was one of Paul's first ever songs, and just didn't get recorded until Pepper Time. And then speaking of the reissue, here's an advertisement for it here. And then here's a little section on George Martin, producer of the Beatles, and also some of Paul's solo stuff. George Martin passed away in 2016, so I guess when Paul was going on this tour, that was still pretty fresh, and it's nice that he had a little section here for his old mate and collaborator. There's a photo here I really like. I like this photo. George is watching Paul at the controls, with Ringo also watching. Just got some live pictures here. There's a live crowd. There's Paul rocking his Hofner bass. Paul with his bass there, and then Paul at Fenway Park. Now here's the tour credits. Now this is really detailed. I think every single person gets mentioned here. I don't think I've ever seen one so detailed. But yeah, there's the band obviously, and then there's every country as well. There's the show on it too. There's special thank yous, photography credits, and program credits, and all that sort of stuff. And over the page we've got the man again, live and playing a guitar, playing his Gibson Les Paul. There we go. Nice live shot there, and then nice smile there. I think he's definitely in his happy place playing live. And then we cap it off. Confetti. And then hands in the air like Rocky. After probably just playing an awesome concert. But there you go. That's the tour program for Paul McCartney's one-on-one tour. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe if you like what you've seen, and I will see you next time. Cheers.